Sustainable Innovation YouTube channel, the only channel where we are learning more information on climate change mitigation and adaptation measures. Today we are here visiting our brother who is really working hard to help us fight the climate change using one of the most innovative ways of beekeeping. Let us take time to learn more and have this information at hand. This information is going to change our lives. We need it at this critical time. This is the time that we are feeling the brunt of climate change. Let us embrace such kind of innovation. I'm going to invite him to let us know more about whatever he's going to do, and he's going to let us know how we can be able to use the same innovation to help us fight climate change. Welcome, my brother.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to receive you people, especially when it comes to the innovative ways of doing farming. My name is Joseph Otieno, from Kisumu County, Nyando constituency, Ahero Ward, Kochogo village. That's where we have this kind of apiary. So basically I'm going to take you through why I'm doing the beekeeping program, and why I decided to do it here, and how it is contributing to the climate change, and also on food security. Normally, people have got a challenge in food insecurity, but the ways to mitigate it has always been a challenge, basically because of the lack of awareness on some of the resources that we have and how they can be organized to ensure that we can be able to produce. So I realized that beekeeping is another thing that can contribute to food security, but it has never been exploited due to the fact that we have got the resources. We have got water bodies around, like River Nyando is just some few kilometers here. We have got farmers who do a lot of crops that do provide a lot of flowers. We have got very big trees that also produce a lot of flowers. So I see that it's very good to utilize these flowers, and also to utilize the vegetation that is here in even the water. So to ensure that the beekeeping can be able to do well, we realize that there are some things that traditionally farmers used to do that always discourage them from even the beekeeping. For example, our farmers used to do the beekeeping in forest, and in forest we have even the animals that do graze there. And at the end, we realize that there has been always the conflicts between the animals, the livestock, and the beekeeping. So most of the community have always abandoned the beekeeping projects because of the disasters that they have always seen in East. For example, the animal, the livestock, bees conflict. So to mitigate this, I saw that it is better to have advanced systems of doing the beekeeping, whereby we can have the bees enclosed, then the surrounding areas is properly vegetated, so that the direct interaction between human beings and the bees, and even the animals and the bees, are limited. So that's why I decided to come up with the system. The first one I did in Kakamega. There's another one in Loitoktok, and being that Kisumu County is also having a very favorable environmental conditions for beekeeping, I decided to have one established here, and therefore I established this. This is a metallic apiary. It has got the layers for the iron sheet and the wire mesh. It is established this way so that we can have free movement of bees, and bees are also protected from maybe people who are passing around who can be able to interfere with them. So the wire mesh that is around here is basically to provide the ways, the entry points for the bees. For example, this apiary is going to occupy up to 250 hives, and these bees need to move out and in so that they can be able to collect the bee forages or the pollen grains. So inside here is made in such a way that we have got shelves. The shelves are there to ensure that the beehives are put in stable manner, such that even if there is a mess up, the beehives cannot be knocked down anyhow. because once the beehives are knocked down, the bees become aggressive and they interfere with the people who are around. So the apiary is made in such a way that it has got very good shells. The shells are going to ensure that the beehives are stable. Like there were some incidences of the animals knocking the hives down. When the hives are put on stools and unstable benches, any other animal can come and knock them down. And once they are knocked down, the conflict become high, whether it is with human beings or any other animal. So this apiary is here, and we have got so far about 50 beehives inside here, which are being colonized. So we are sure that within this apiary, we are going to have a lot of production because of the design.
I have a question for you.
Yes,
Now
thank
you
you.
have all these apiaries here. What is the method of colonization that we're going to use to make sure that they are properly colonized and yet they are housed?
Thank you so much for the question. We're just using the natural method of colonization. The beehives are made in such a way that we have layers of wax sheets. The wax are smeared inside the hives so that it can be able to attract the bees, and also the color of the hives. We don't normally depend on the hives being colonized within the apiary, but we go outside and site the hives in strategic places. And being that the hives are yellow, the bees are able to locate the hives easily. And with the kind of the scent that is produced by the wax, the bees are able to detect that there is a better place for them to live.
Now let me ask you. I've been seeing people make hives in different colors. Why did you decide to choose yellow instead of all other colors?
Thank you so much. So yellow is very attractive to bees. Many of the times you've seen the bees in the sunflower. So that it simply means when you see bees are all over the sunflower, it simply means that they're attracted to that color. They are very much attracted to yellow color. Anything yellow, they see it as beautiful. So normally when the worker bees come around and they see a yellow thing, they must always come and see, is it beautiful? How is this thing important to us? So when the worker bees come and see that it is a yellow thing and it is also beautiful inside, they find it so interesting to come and even invite the rest of the colony to come and colonize the hive.
Okay. So from here you've really designed the hives, the bee house and everything. What factors made you to think of beekeeping as compared to other kind of farming which is around? And what are the benefits that we can get from this in this region? Knowing clearly what Kochogo is, this is a very dry area. And climatically, these people really have a lot of floods from Nyando. So how are you going to make sure that everything works, and why did you choose that?
Yeah, basically beekeeping is another simple venture that one can choose to venture in. For example, bees, we don't buy bees. When we do natural colonization, we don't buy them. Bees are almost everywhere, and we have the flowers almost everywhere. So I decided to do beekeeping simply because of we spend very little time in management of these bees. We don't buy the bees, and with bees we can always have a regular source of income. For example, each and every 3 months we do the harvesting of bees without buying so many things. For example, if you compare with the dairy, for dairy you will be able to go to the agrovets, buy the chemicals, and also for bees, we don't have many diseases, like every now and then the bees are sick, you're going to get. So the cost of management is lowered. So basically what you need most is the infrastructure. Like I only needed the apiary, the enclosure, and also the hives. After that, I only need to attract the bees so that they get there. So most of the time I will be doing very little management practices, and at the end of 3 months, I'm harvesting. And this is one of the ventures that can easily help us to counteract the issue of the climate change. Because, for example, right now, farmers who are doing horticulture along River Nyando, the unpredictable weather patterns, see, even the market patterns is a big challenge to them. But for beekeeping, it's something that very few people do it. It only requires the infrastructural part of it, and the management practices are very minimal. So we can even allow you to do any other activity. So like this one, I spend very little time here and I expect income. That time that I save, I use it to do another venture as another source of income. Yes.
Okay, but now as a youth, what can you advise other youths who are complaining of joblessness, unemployment rate is going high? What can you advise them? Is this really a good venture that they can get into, or it is so risky for them? Because people are always scared of this thing.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think for youths, it's a matter of changing our mentality from being employed and being the solutions to the challenges that our people face. Like as youths, things change. Currently, we have informations everywhere. So as youths, we only need to source information that is going to enable us survive and going to enable us solve the challenges that our people face. That's why we go to school, so that we can be able to think of the solutions to the challenges that we face. For example, I realized that we are facing a challenge on food insecurity. Then I saw that honey is something that people love so much. Everywhere you go to the supermarket, there are always the shelves for the honey. Then I said, then what can I do? Because I see some farmers do have problems with the bees in their homes on top of trees, and they end up burning them, they end up having some conflicts. Then I said, this is a good resource that I can tap on, that can be able to contribute to food security instead of bringing the conflicts. Then I said, okay, then let me ensure that these bees are reared to be taken positive and not to be taken negatively. So I think that is the main reason as to why I decided that I'm going to rear bees and I'm not going to wait for anything.